Okay, so in this video, I want to review the use of the highway capacity software. Just the signal component of it for now. So this is the main screen when you open up HCS Plus, which is on the computers in the laboratory. And if you click on the little signal icon, you can open up the signals component of the software. And so now when we open up a new file to analyze an intersection, we're going to do new, and we'll choose operational. There are a couple of different types. Planning requires less data, okay, less information. It's just a quick and dirty kind of a thing. But we're interested in the more detailed operations package. So when that happens, we end up with a window that looks like this, and it's a double window, the standard pull-down menus, but the window has a kind of a grayish window for data entry, and then down at the bottom there's a white window that is the outputs from whatever you put in above, and you can move them back and forth. So now when we're putting in data, we're going to make this input window bigger. So I'm the analyst, and the agency is Merrimack, and the intersection will be I don't know, so let's say demo. Let's say it's not a CBD. That means Central Business District. Don't worry about jurisdiction. All this other stuff is basically here. Let's call this East Street, and we'll call this North Street. Okay. So now let me show you the intersection that we'll be doing. Okay. First of all, the analysis type is a single period, okay. And now I'll bring up the intersection. This is a typical worksheet for input data. So it shows the lane use, lane dimensions, and volumes on the top half. And then in the middle, it shows the peak hour factor, number of buses using the intersection on that approach, if there's parking or not, and how many maneuvers. Are there conflicting pedestrians? So, for example, for the right turns from here, the conflicting pedestrians crossing this street are 100. The eastbound approach has, when they make a right turn, the conflicting pedestrians is 100. Okay? And the arrival type we talked about in class, that's the kind of the how the platoon is going, and these are given here. Okay, and then down at the bottom are the phasing timings and movements. So we have an exclusive left phase, green time and yellow time, and then we have through movements on the east-west. And then everybody goes north-south, okay, and the timings are given here. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that and move this over, and we'll go back to this thing here. So actually, let me see if I can get this so I can read the information as we go through. So you should have this. It's up online, the worksheet in front of you. So as I go through this exercise, you'll be able to follow along with me. So first of all, for the eastbound geometry, we have a left turn lane, and see here it says what kind of a lane this lane group is, and then we have two through lanes. But then the rightmost lane is shared. So this is a through right shared lane condition. And then in the westbound lane, or the westbound direction, we have a left turn lane, one. And then we have two through lanes, and it's shared with right turners. Okay, northbound, we have one lane, and it's shared left and right, so everybody comes out of that lane. And similarly, southbound, same thing, shared. Okay. We're not going to worry about receiving lanes. We'll assume the receiving lanes are all consistent. Okay. Peak hour factors. I think the peak hour factors in my example were 0.95. So let's do that. Oh, 0.95. Oh, I'm using a Mac and I'm not used to. All right, we're just going to leave it 0.9 because otherwise we'll be here forever. Okay, I'm going to continue with this video. The software that I'm using to capture doesn't like so many things open, so I chose to start using screen captures. Hopefully that'll be fine as you go through your own examples. So we left off putting in peak hour factors. Okay. The next step is to enter volumes from our volume sheet, and we can actually go to this, and you can see the volumes are given. Where the heck are they given? Well, this only shows just this one volume, but you have the original sheet, and you can see that the volumes are given. Left turn, through, and right for eastbound, and similarly westbound, northbound, southbound. Okay. The average queue spacing, we won't worry about that. Okay. So the next thing is to go down here and look at lost time. These other things are finer points that we won't deal with. Okay, we're only dealing with a very small subset because we have a simple pre-timed signal. So the startup lost time, remember in class we talked about at the beginning of green, people don't move immediately. So on average we lose about 2 seconds for every phase, right? And we also talked about losing about a second at the end because some people choose to stop on the yellow indication. And so we lose 1 second from a total of 3 that we have, right? So the extension of effective green, that's the yellow time, but the yellow time is 3 seconds, minus 1 is only 2. So that's the value that we put in here. Okay? We won't worry about pedestrian walk speed at this time. Okay? And then we put in the phasing. So when you scroll down in the gray area of the software, there's east-west phasing up to 4 phases and north-south phasing up to 4 phases. And previously I entered the 23 seconds, 3 seconds of yellow, and clicked on the buttons that apply. So I clicked on, for phase 1, north-south phase 1, I clicked on left and left, the left buttons. Okay? For phase 2, east-west, I put in the green and yellow times, and then clicked on through right, because that's the movements that are allowed. Right? And then north-south, there's only one phase. The green time is 16 seconds, and I just clicked on the 3 buttons, left through right, north and south, and that resulted in this phasing. Okay. So then the next step is to put in the other adjustment factors. So lane widths, 10-foot left turn, 12-foot throughs. The percent heavy vehicles, 10% east-west, 5% north-south. Parking maneuvers, and that's basically it. So once you're done inputting everything, these things that I've highlighted here, you can actually pull that dividing line between the gray area and the white area up, so you can look at the outputs. And the outputs for this intersection are level of service B for the approach. This gives you the level of service at the lane group level. So the left turn lane group on eastbound is level of service C. The delay is 22 seconds. Right? And if I combine those, take a weighted average of those delays, I come up with this delay, and that is a simple lookup in the book, delay of 19.6 is a level of service B, and similarly all the way down. Now this obviously is a problem, level of service F and level of service E. Something needs to be done north-south. Okay, that's it.